but I know we're in this for the long haul, at least multiple months.
The measles outbreak continues to spread, with Lubbock's public health director warning there is no end in sight. Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Today, 36 new cases of measles were reported by the state health department, and that brings the total number of infections reported in Texas since January to 541, which is nearly double the number of infections the entire country saw last year.
This is a look at the latest infection count across the South Plains. Gaines County continues to lead the region with 355 cases reported since January. Terry County has the second highest case count with 47, and Lubbock County has the third highest with 38. Again, for reference, the CDC reported only 285 cases of measles across the U.S. in 2024. The South Plains continues to lead the infection count across the state, accounting for 95% of the state's measles cases.
It is important to note only about 30 cases of measles are considered to be actively infectious right now. The state health department reports all those experienced the start of a rash about a week ago, and people are considered infectious 4 days before and 4 days after the rash begins. The rash is the telltale sign of measles, but also watch for other early symptoms like a cough, runny nose, red eyes, or a sore throat.
Now, this is a look at the map of what the state is calling transmission zones on the South Plains. This is where the state reports additional cases are likely to occur. Catherine Wells, the Lubbock Public Health Director, spoke again this week about the importance and effectiveness of the MMR vaccine in preventing the spread of measles.
I think it's key that every level of government, from federal level, state, down to those who are answering the phone at my health department, are very strong about the importance of the vaccination. The measles, the MMR vaccine that protects us against measles, is the way to stop from getting measles.
Lubbock Public Health also updated its MMR vaccine guidelines this week to include an early single dose for infants 6 to 11 months old. And then they would still need the typical dose given between 12 and 15 months, and then of course a final dose between the ages of 4 and 6 years.
KCBD also confirmed today reports of a measles exposure on the Lubbock Christian University campus. The university confirmed one student contracted the virus and attended events on campus during the 4 days leading up to their diagnosis. An email was sent to students this week warning them of potential exposures during chapel on Monday. School officials did say the student had not attended classes during that time.
Health officials continue to update us on the measles cases in New Mexico as well. 2 new cases have been reported in Lee County since Tuesday, bringing the total in New Mexico to 58 across 3 counties there, along with 2 new hospitalizations.
And the New Mexico Department of Health is also notifying people in Hobbs about 2 potential exposures there. Health officials say there were 2 potential exposures at the Kids City Daycare at the Choose Life Church on North Del Paso Street last Friday and this past Tuesday. Those exposures are said to have happened between 10:30 in the morning and at 6:45 in the evening on those days.
Another exposure was reported at the Denny's on North Lovington Highway Saturday. Again, that is in Hobbs. Officials say it was between 9:30 in the morning and 1:30 that afternoon. Again, if you are asked to watch for symptoms if you think you may have been exposed.